While on the way to Ankara, we saw lovely sunflower fields on the left and right. This reminds me of Hungary back in 1995 when I traveled backpack to Europe and North Africa after finishing my undergraduate studies in the United Kingdom. Lots and lots of cornfields, wheat fields on the left and right. Truly, Turkiye is a land of agriculture. Not surprising, when we visited Anıtkabir, here we found Atatürk had encouraged, motivated, wanted people to farm and plant. He gave each of those who fought for independence a piece of land. So it's not a surprise to see agriculture as a big thing here. A different scene from my country, as there are only rubber, palm trees, lots and lots of jungle, or buildings, houses on the countryside. Now, as we enter Anıtkabir, there's this huge statue of Atatürk, like an idol, reminds me of Al-Lata Al-Uzza in Mecca. Anıtkabir is the mausoleum built here to remember Kemal Atatürk. This place, which has Egypt and Greece influence, here you can see from this wall, shows Atatürk is being worshipped, somehow like God or prophet. Sort of reminds me of Pharaoh in Egypt too. At the entrance here, it states a message from Atatürk to the youth to preserve the republic. Why republic? Because republic represents the voice of the people, the will of the people, not the will of the creator of people. Here, the wreath, these flowers, is a symbol of Americanized culture. But Atatürk wanted to revive the Turkish culture. So why follow the American? Isn't this contradicting? Okay, here the museum has everything and anything about Atatürk, his life, his career, his mission, his death, and this is where he is buried. One of the good things Atatürk did was helping the people become free from the Allied forces, which is the British, French, and Greece force. He rebuilt the economy, the social aspects, by listening to what people wanted during the war. What do they want? Of course, they wanted freedom. Freedom from Ottoman, that was already weak and meek, and freedom from the Allied forces. Atatürk led the people during the war. I remembered he said, "I didn't ask you to attack, I asked you to die." Of course, with this kind of fiery motivation and his military strategy, the Turks obtained freedom and the Allied forces were defeated. Not just the people wanted freedom, Atatürk wanted freedom too, from the Ottomans and from the Allied forces. So, it was a matter of time. Right time, right place, right opportunity to remove religion from people's lives for good by inserting the word secular in the constitution of Republic of Turkey. The Uthmaniyya or Ottoman at this time was already very, very weak, meek, down, sick. He was just waiting to die. It was just a matter of time. In fact, the Ottomans started to become weak after Al-Fatih died. Some historians said later, some earlier. However, due to the slow departure from Islam by the Uthmaniyya, by the people back then, falling, dying, collapsing was just unavoidable. Allah gives and Allah takes. When the people and the government no longer uphold Islam, no longer wanted Islam in its entirety, kafah, there was no reason for Allah not to take it back. Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 26.
O Allah, Master of the Kingdom, you give the kingdom to whomsoever you please, and take away the kingdom from whomsoever you please, and you exalt whom you please, and abase whom you please. In your hand is the good, indeed, you have power over all things. Quran 3:26.
Strangely, many Muslim-populated countries do not have the word secular specifically stated in their constitution or laws of their country, but Islam, as per the Quran and prophetic model, is not seen being used in the political, economy, legal, social, and education system in Muslim-populated countries. Instead, Islam is just a religion in Muslim-populated countries, not a law, as shown by Prophet Muhammad SAW in Medina 1,400 years ago. After the fall of Uthmaniyah, Islam is just a convenient name in Muslim-populated countries. But the essence, the inside, the substance of Islam, especially the justice system, the economy system, is replaced by secular humanism ideas, capitalism ideas, and human laws. This is no different than the republic that Ataturk built and lasted till now. When we left Anik Kabir, we understood why Ataturk is glorified so much. Because he is a good person, but good does not mean truth. He is a good person because he rebuilt the economy that was left in lots of debts by the Ottoman sultans due to their lifestyle, building palaces, expensive malls here and there, which is different from the modest lifestyle of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Even though he may be seen as anti-religion, he didn't build any new palace like the Ottoman Sultan did. He used back Dolmabahce Palace during the summer for 10 years, until his death. Prudent financial management, don't you think so? When Ataturk ruled Turkey, he lived in Ankara, not in a palace, but a normal house that converted into an official residence. Erdogan, instead, a leader with Islam image, built a 1,000-plus room palace recently, while the people are suffering due to high inflation. On the other hand, Ataturk wanted to build Turkish identity, Turkish nationality, but he used Latin alphabets, which originated from the Roman. Certainly this is not Turkish. Isn't this contradicting? Then he wanted to build Turkish culture, but he made people use hats instead, which is from the West. Certainly this is not Turkish. Again, isn't this contradicting? Finally, what we have learned here is, if something comes from human, there are bound to be contradictions. But if it comes from the creator of human, there is no contradiction that can cause doubt. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 2. This is the book of which it has no doubt, guidance for those who are conscious of Allah. Finally, not everything is gloom and doom about Ankara and Ataturk, because there's Ankara Castle that showcased Byzantium period in the past. Here, many crafts and antiques are sold, as shown here. I must say this, the Turks are crafty and artistic people. We enjoy seeing lots of handmade stuff at their bazaar and little shops all over Turkiye. But for food, you must be careful. Every place you go, whether big or small restaurants, big or small cities, you must ask for the price. Price in Turkish is fiyat, so you know what you're paying and will not get a shock after that due to the rising inflation that affects the exchange rate. From Ankara, we drove to Cappadocia with the same countryside. Again, sunflower fields. That makes me happy. That makes anyone happy when we see sunflower. Cornfields, wheat fields on the left and right. Here, we stayed at a hotel in a cave. Yes, it's my first time, sleeping in a cave. It is called Attila's Cave House. It's a hotel made from stones in a cave. In Malay, It is a rumah tebuk batu, bukan rumah tebuk atap. Hihi, if you understand what I mean. At night, it's very cooling. This hotel costs about 340 ringgit per night with Turkish breakfast. Sleeping in this cave feels like the Al-Kafi youth mentioned in the Quran, except the one in the Quran may not be as comfortable as this hotel. In the morning, as early as Fajr, we saw hot air balloon and the breathtaking scenery. Oh my God. How the caves were formed naturally by the creator of nature is truly mind-boggling. I sat down, observing, looking for a long time. Every house we passed, we saw a grape plant hanging on their roofs. How nice! What an interesting sight. And there was also this fake police, big signboards. Police tipu-tipu. Then we entered Uçhisar Castle, another Roman Byzantium ruins here. And from this Roman Byzantium ruins, we can see the whole of Cappadocia, the city, the town. And we also visited Avanos town after that. Cappadocia, Uçhisar, Avanos, Kesari, all are famous for their crafts made of potteries. So cute. Trinkets here and there. Finally, before leaving Cappadocia, we met Dr. Ahmad from Abdullah Gül University at this place where for the first time we ate Turkish food. Sorry, I can't recall the name. And a drink. Oh my God, we had this drink so hot, spicy and sour. Like a hot wind coming up from our ears. This is the bottle. Dr. Ahmad shared with us about Ottoman. As an urban planner, his history knowledge is very good. Not many like him. He said when under the Ottoman Caliphate, there were 54 countries under their rule. Oh my God, it was not easy to manage or control. Too vast. Or perhaps Ottomania have grown too fast? Allah knows best. One of my sons asked a question. How did Christians become Muslims back then? He said, many people think Uthmaniyah ruled the Muslim lands, but they forgot it was a non-Muslim land. In fact, a European land on this side. Can you see this map? And multi-ethnic here on the Anatolian side. This map on the side. So in total, there were many races, many faiths, many cultures, not just one or two, but many. This means majority were non-Muslims. So non-believers, Christians, Jews and other faiths became Muslims through a gradual process. Not fixed, not quick and not definite. In my country, Muslims on Malay land often say, Islam cannot rule here because we have many races, many faiths, many culture, blah blah blah. But they forgot Islam ruled European and Asian lands, which consists of various tribes, various faiths and various cultures around 700 years ago, 15th century, with not so advanced technology back then. Today we have advanced technology, but our ideology, the way we think, is backward, I must say. Finally, Dr. Ahmad said the tax the non-Muslims paid was lower than when the non-Muslim were ruled by the Roman Byzantium in Constantinople. This could be a reason they are attracted to find out more about Islam because of the justice system back then in the 15th century.